listening to Keep Price's Curtain Call.
Rivera Awards, the nominees reception, and I am now speaking to, I don't know how to say this without sounding weird, but you have been somebody in my entire New York life that I have been so lucky enough to have met you when I was just some weird, comedian actor trying to have a moment, to the part of having been on radio and to now doing the things that I'm doing, and you have always been so nice to me.
Oh,
and I just
well, you make that very easy. Not everybody does.
But it's always so weird because I always feel like, when I meet folks like you or have interactions with folks like you, I have to always remember that I am me, and I'm a lot. And I always have to dial it back because I don't ever want you to be scared of me.
No,
but you've been so kind to me, and here we are now at the Chita Rivera Awards, and I know that Chita has been a huge influence on you.
Yeah.
And to be here now, a couple of her great roles, thanks to her. Hello.
It's true. And not just me. Think of all the dancers who have played Anita in West Side Story, all the dancers who have played Velma in Chicago, all the dancers who have done Broadway Birdie.
Yeah.
She created these incredible, iconic roles.
Mm.
And and these are great roles. These are not, that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that these are really rich roles. They're not surface. Oh, you sing this and you kick your leg up high and then you get a laugh and it's over. There's really substance to them. And I think that speaks to who Chita was as a person, the depth of her.
Well, and she was able to bring that into everything that she's able to do.
Yes.
That's the best part. That's the best part. But again, we're celebrating this, and it feels weird again. It's like the second year now for me doing this, knowing that she's not here. And it's interesting to see the legacy.
Yeah.
People that get to work with her and have done all those things with her don't recognize now that she's gone. They're seeing the impact of what she's done. Like I was talking to DeWitt and to Ricky Tripp about how it's so important when you're able to be that representative for a group, for a culture, when all you're doing is just doing what you love to do. Chita Rivera was an influence to lots of dancers, of course, but also too, for the Latin American folks. She was a beacon, especially during the time when she was coming out and doing her thing. She was a beacon, and so. It's wonderful to see the impact and the legacy. And like I told them, it's like them being there is already political on its own.
Yes, just showing up.
Just showing up is political on their own, but then to show up and show out makes it such a joy to watch.
That's right.
So, and
think of all the lost years when we didn't get to, as an audience and as a society, have that.
Yeah. And now it's almost, I feel like we're taking it for granted sometimes, just a little bit.
Well, not right now. We're clinging to it, hanging on to it, baby.
Hanging on to the arts.
Oh my gosh, because art heals us, as a great man once said, and also art is activism. Art is a way to make a statement. It's a way of telling the truth of what we see around us.
Right. And make sense of it, or trying to make sense of it. Especially as a comedian, I know that's trying to make sense of it and make it funny.
Right, and the key to that is finding the truth. And that's what artists do. They find the truth. If you're a poet, if you're a painter. I remember there was I'll say it. On the 11th of September in 2001, I remember looking out my window at the devastation and thinking and feeling and not being able to make sense of what I was thinking and feeling and thinking, I need a poet
to speak to me.
I need a poet to be able to put down in words, and I could read those words and I would be able to make sense of what I'm feeling, because only a poet, and I say poet, but because in that day it was a poet, but that's the role of artists, is to make sense of the world, find the truth of what's happening, and tell the rest of us, tell our stories, tell the truth, make it so that life is understood by the rest of us.
And somewhat palpable.
And somewhat palpable, if at all possible. No, Albert
Oh.
Camus said, "Without art, life would." What did he say? Without art, life would make no sense. Something like that.
Yeah.
I have it written down somewhere. I do.
Well, look, you know what? I'll look it up later and then
Look it
I'll
up
scroll
later.
it across
Albert
the thing.
Camus,
That's
look
what
it up,
we'll
the
do.
quote.
I love it. Well, Miss BB, again, thank you so much for spending the time right now with me, and thank you for also being a part of my New York history,
Oh.
in which I'm just thank you.
Well,
I don't want to. I don't want to
part of
cry.
my New York history. It works both ways. Like I said to you, not everybody makes it. I said you make it easy. Not everybody does, and it's really nice to remember every once in a while you get to talk to somebody who's actually kind and open and available, makes contact, asks smart questions, all that. So thank you. He's the man.
I'm a wreck, Kiara. I'm a wreck now. I can go home. I'm going to have a glass of wine now and go home because Bebe Neuwirth has done this for me.
And I'm
Thank you
going to go
so
feed
much.
my cats.
Miss Bebe,
Always a pleasure.
always a pleasure. What do you have coming up that I need to be paying attention to?
Oh, I don't know. I just finished my run in
Fraulein,
cabaret.
yes.
And now I'm just catching my breath and hoping somebody else offers me another job in the theater.
In the theater. You don't want to do anything?
I don't want to do any more television.
No.
I'll be a guest on somebody's show, but I don't want to do any more television. I'm not good at it. I don't like it. It doesn't suit me. I'm much better at being in the theater. I started on stage when I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I'm a dancer. That's
Yeah.
a visceral experience.
God, I'm a dancer.
I don't feel like myself when I'm doing a television show.
Wow.
I can do it, but it doesn't feel like
it doesn't
me.
feel right.
When I get on
wow.
stage, I go, oh, okay, now I can breathe.
I so get that. It's like, give me a microphone and let me just say whatever's on my mind, and I'm there. I'm there. Oh, Miss BB, girl.
All right.
I'm going to put it together. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-time Tony Award winner, 2-time Emmy Award winning Bebe Neuwirth. And my friend in my head.
Yes.
Love it.